Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Science Has an Accent. My name is Camila, and I'm a third-year PhD student. On this iteration of the podcast for 2025, we have 4 new faces with us. We have Rachel, Fatima, Kiri, and myself. Welcome, everyone. We will be discussing 4 different broad science topics covering oxygen imaging, neutrophils in cancer, human movement during the pandemic, and creatine in the brain. Our first guest is Rachel Molyneux, a second-year master's student in the Department of Physiology and Pathophysiology. Welcome.
Hi, Camila. Thanks. Glad to be a part of the show. So today I'm going to be talking about oxygen imaging for optimal brain health. So we all know that oxygen is good for the body. We can build strength, improve our cardiovascular health, lose weight, and gain muscle. It's also become widely accepted that exercise helps to improve our mental health as well, enhancing overall mood, improve self-confidence, and a better overall self-image. However, over the past few years, researchers have turned their attention to the impact exercise has on the brain, more specifically, with several studies looking at how, for example, Tai Chi may enhance the overall cognitive functioning in older adults, helping them maintain abilities to plan, solve problems, and interact with others for longer as they age. A recent study published in the Journal of Science demonstrates how novel technology is emerging that allows understanding brain health to reach a step even further. Researchers at Capital Medical University in Beijing have developed a cutting-edge technique for real-time, high-resolution monitoring of oxygen distribution in the mouse cerebral cortex, or like their brain, during exercise, and the results were astounding. So using green-enhanced nano-lantern, or GenL, a bioluminescent glowing oxygen indicator, these researchers have identified areas of the brain with dangerously low oxygen levels known as hypoxic pockets, which can lead to brain damage if left unresolved. When these researchers compared the oxygen distribution between sedentary and active mice, they discovered that exercise reduced the burden of these hypoxic pockets by up to 52% compared with at rest. One of the main researchers within this team considered these findings to explain the link actually between the active lifestyles and decreased risks of dementia that we see within society. So this groundbreaking research really does a great job in highlighting the critical role of exercise has in maintaining brain health. By revealing real-time oxygenation patterns at a cellular level, this study sets the stage for improving diagnostics and treatments, targeting brain health specifically. It also emphasizes the impact exercise could potentially have as a means of preventative or combative brain-related conditions like dementia and stroke, which could revolutionize how we understand it altogether.
Thank you, Rachel. This was super interesting. This really helps us reflect on exercise as a tool for longevity and brain health. Our second guest is Fatima Asampur, a 4th-year PhD candidate in the Department of Immunology.
Thank you, Cami, for having me. Today I want to talk about neutrophils as unexpected heroes in cancer battlefields. A recent study has revealed new insights into the role of neutrophils, a type of white blood cells, in fighting cancer, potentially paving the way for new immunotherapy approaches. Conducted by researchers from Fudan University and the Chinese Academy of Sciences, the study analyzed neutrophils from 225 cancer samples across 17 different types. The findings published in the journal Cell highlight that neutrophils can exist in 10 distinct states, with 3 key roles emerging: inflammation, blood vessel formation, and presenting antigens to T cells. One significant discovery is that neutrophils capable of presenting antigens are linked to better survival rates in cancer patients. Our comprehensive single-cell analysis of neutrophils across 17 cancer types revealed that antigen-presenting neutrophils show particular promise in improving current cancer treatments, says Dr. Ying-Cheng Wu, lead author of the study from the Department of Liver Surgery and Transplantation, Fudan University. This research not only deepens our understanding of how neutrophils function in cancer, but also opens up potential new strategies for enhancing cancer treatment through immune system modulation.
Thank you, Fatima. This really emphasizes how these little cells are important in combating cancer. Our third guest is Kiri Shafto, a PhD candidate in the Department of Applied Sciences.
Thanks so much, Camila. So today I'm going to be talking about pandemic pathways and decoding human movement in a lockdown world. As public health scientists continue to reflect on the successes and challenges of their response to the COVID-19 pandemic, some are using cell phone data to help answer big questions. A recent study looked at whether or not travel restrictions had the desired effect on the population. Because COVID-19 is transmitted from person to person, you may recall that some public health restrictions were aimed at decreasing population movement. Researchers from Western University have used mobile phone data to see if regions with greater restrictions experienced higher movement out of the area, and if so, was it to regions with fewer restrictions? What they found was there's very little evidence to suggest that these restrictions actually impacted movement. In fact, there were many other factors that influenced movement, such as seasonality, socioeconomics, and geography. The good news for public health officials is that the strict restrictions didn't appear to create a mass exodus to regions with looser restrictions. But these neutral results provide valuable insights for local and regional governments when considering similar measures in future pandemics.
Thank you. This is interesting how our daily movements and cell phone activity can be used to pilot these pandemic studies. Finally, I will be discussing how creatine may not just be for muscles, but important for brain health and signaling. Creatine, a compound made naturally in the body, supplies energy to muscles. It can also be used as a supplement and is found in protein-rich foods. Many people take creatine to increase strength, but it may also promote brain health. It has been reported to improve cognitive performance and used as a treatment for neurodegenerative diseases in animals. In a recent paper published in eLife, scientists at Peking University have recently suggested a new role for creatine as a potential neurotransmitter. To be considered a neurotransmitter, 1, it must be present and stored in neurons. 2, it must be released in response to neuron activation. 3, the release must be calcium dependent. And 4, specific receptors for the neurotransmitter must be present on the neuron following the neuron that released it. Our discoveries that the hunt for neurotransmitters stopped decades ago because of technical difficulties, not due to the absence of more neurotransmitters, is mentioned by Bian and colleagues in this 2023 study. Although experimentally complex, these scientists are the first to demonstrate that creatine is stored in vesicles, is dependent on calcium for release, and requires ATP or energy for uptake. Given its new potential role as a neurotransmitter, these findings lay the groundwork for advancing research on creatine's target receptors and molecular function. This study emphasizes the importance of using innovative approaches to investigate molecules and not to be deterred by technically challenging experiments. Thank you all for joining us on this week's episode, and tune in to our next episode. And remember, science has an accent.